An old man accidentally falls into a contaminated drainage canal. Moments later, his body starts reacting in impossible ways. At first, nobody understands what happened, but this bizarre incident is the first sign that something hidden beneath this town is beginning to awaken. Meanwhile, we meet Inchi, a young woman who has spent most of her life battling illness, and now she received the worst news imaginable. Her condition is getting worse. She doesn't have much time left. Instead of breaking down, she becomes strangely calm. After all, when you've lived your entire life expecting bad news, eventually you stop being surprised. Inche decides she's tired of simply existing. If she's going to die, she wants to actually live. First, travel, see the world, do something memorable. The problem is, she has no money, and her grandmother refuses to support what she thinks is another one of Inche's reckless plans. The only family Inche has is her grandmother, who raised her after years of medical problems. They argue constantly, but beneath all the arguments is genuine love. Unfortunately, Inche never tells her grandmother how serious her condition has become. Instead, she decides to solve her problems in the dumbest way possible. Together with her friends, Kan and Song, she stages a fake kidnapping. The plan is simple: record a ransom video, scare her grandmother, get some money, leave town. What could possibly go wrong? After filming the fake kidnapping video, Inchi suddenly collapses. At first, her friends think she's joking. Then reality hits. She's not breathing. Her heart has stopped. Inchi is dead. Terrified of being blamed, Kan and Swan make a horrible decision. Instead of calling for help, they decide to hide the body. As they are transporting her through an abandoned drainage area, a mysterious government employee named Lee catches them. Lee immediately notices something is wrong. Kan and Swan are sweating, panicking, acting like two criminals caught in the middle of a crime. The more Lee questions them, the more suspicious they become. Then he notices a cat behind them. They are desperately trying to hide it. Lee moves closer, demanding to know what's inside. But in their panic, Kan and Swan accidentally lose control of the cat. It rolls down the slope and crashes into the contaminated drainage water below. And then something horrifying happens. Inch's body falls out of the cat and splashes into the water. Without hesitation, Lee runs down toward the canal. Kan and Swan follow behind him. The situation quickly turns chaotic as an argument breaks out. Kan is on the verge of tears. Swan desperately tries to explain that they never intended to kill her. They keep insisting it was all an accident. But before anyone can make sense of what happened, they notice something even stranger. Inch's body is gone. The three men search frantically. Nothing. No body. No sign of where she went. Confused and suspicious, Lee immediately calls the police. A short while later, the police arrive and begin questioning everyone. Cap and Son struggle to explain themselves. Lee tells the officers about the dead girl they found in the cat. Then the officer in charge suddenly points behind him. Are you talking about that girl? The one you claim these two men killed? Everyone slowly turns around and freezes. Standing a few feet away is Unchi, alive, healthy, and looking completely fine. Lee freezes. Han and Son are equally shocked because the girl they were certain had died is someone standing right in front of them. The woman who was dead just came back to life, and nobody can explain how. Not her, not her friends, and especially not Lee, because Lee recognizes something impossible. He has seen this happen before, years ago, during an experiment called Wonderkinder. 20 years earlier, a scientist named Dr. Ha ran secret experiments on dozens of children. His goal was to create superhumans. Most of the children died, others developed strange abilities. Only a handful survived. Among them was one special child, a boy who couldn't die, the immortal child, the eternal one, and Lee was his closest friend. Ever since the experiment was destroyed, Lee has spent years searching for what happened to him. Now, Inch's resurrection makes him wonder if she's somehow connected, and that's when everything starts changing. One day, Inch suddenly vanishes, then reappears somewhere else. Then it happens again and again. She's developed powers, specifically teleportation. The only problem, she has absolutely no control over it, while trying to understand her abilities. Inch unknowingly attracts the attention of people who have been searching for the immortal child for decades, and they are willing to do anything to find him. Hidden inside the town is an organization connected to the old Wonderkinder experiments. They worship Dr. Ha almost like a prophet, and among them are surviving superhumans created by his research, including the dangerous Val, a living weapon willing to kill for Dr. Ha. As Lee investigates further, he discovers a disturbing connection between Inchi and the immortal child. The clues lead directly to her grandmother, a woman who unknowingly helped found Dr. Ha's experiment years ago. The truth is devastating. When Angel confronts her grandmother, she finally learns what happened. Years ago, she was dying. Doctors couldn't save her. Then Wonder Kingdom collapsed, and in a desperate attempt to keep her alive, surgeon transplanted the immortal child's heart into her body. Everything suddenly makes sense. Her survival, her resurrection, her powers. The heart inside her chest once belonged to the boy Lee has been searching for all these years. The revelation destroys her. Not only did her family benefit from the experiment, they helped make them possible. Unable to handle the kid, she runs away, but Lee follows her. Not because he's investigating anymore, because he genuinely cares about her, and that's exactly what makes his next decision so painful. Meanwhile, the group begins learning how their powers work. Khan discovers his super strength activates whenever he's yelled at. Sun learns his strange adhesive abilities activate whenever he lies, and Inche discovers caffeine causes her heart rate to spike, triggering her teleportation. Their powers are ridiculous, but they are getting stronger, and they will need every advantage they can get. As the group grows closer, Inche even throws Lee a small birthday celebration. For the first time in years, Lee feels like he belongs somewhere, like he has a family, which makes his betrayal even worse. Unknown to everyone, Lee has been working with Dr. Ha. Years ago, they made a deal. If Lee helped locate the immortal child, Dr. Ha would help him find his missing mother. Desperate for answers, Lee agreed, and now Dr. Ha wants Inche. Lee drags Inche and hands her over. When she wakes up inside Dr. Ha's headquarters, she finally learns the truth. Dr. Ha never wanted to save anyone. He plans to remove her heart, use her blood, and create an immortality serum. To him, Inche isn't a person, she's a resource. Back in town, Kyle learns what happened and completely loses it because Inche was the only person who ever stood up for him when they were kids, the only person who treated him like he mattered. Now she's in danger, and he's not about to abandon her. At the same time, Lee visits Inche's grandmother. There he finds a list of her dreams, simple dreams, ordinary dreams. One entry hits him harder than anything else. I want to live past 30. Suddenly, information about his mother doesn't feel worth the price he paid. For the first time, Lee realizes how badly he messed up. So he makes a choice. He's going to save her. Together with Khan, Son, and several allies, Lee launches a rescue mission against Dr. Han's church compound. The operation quickly turns into chaos. Gas, superhumans, mind control, illusions, everything goes wrong. But they finally reach Inche before the surgery begins. Inche is furious, heartbroken, relieved, all at once. But there's no time for arguments because Dr. Han's real plan is finally revealed. Years ago, Wonder Kenda transformed children using a dangerous chemical compound. Now, Dr. Han plans to release that same substance across the entire city during a New Year's festival. His logic is simple. Most people will die, but survivors may evolve into something greater. This insanity disguised as science. The worst part, thousands of innocent people are about to gather directly beneath the delivery system. Families, children, friends, nobody knows what's coming. Lee finally confronts Dr. Ha and demands answers. The scientist remains completely unapologetic. To him, casualties don't matter. Only results matter. The strong survive, the weak perish. And that's when Lee finally stops holding back. Using his full telekinetic power, Lee turns the battlefield into chaos. Bullets freeze in mid-air, vehicles fly through the air, buildings shake. For the first time, everyone witnesses how powerful he truly is. But while the battle rages, the final stage of Dr. Ha's plans begins. A giant balloon carrying the transformation compound rises above the New Year's celebration. If it bursts over the crowd, thousands will die. Nobody can reach it except one person, Inchi. She knows exactly what she has to do. Before leaving, Lee apologizes for betraying her, for everything. Inchi doesn't waste time arguing. Instead, she tells him not to spend the rest of his life regretting things. Then she teleports away. As the New Year's countdown begins, Inchi reaches the balloon. The container is already filling. There's no way to stop it, only move it. So she grabs it, raises her heartbeat, and performs the biggest teleportation of her life. The balloon disappears, the acid disappears, and Inchi disappears with it. Moments later, a distant explosion lights up the horizon. The city is saved, but Inchi never came back. Days become weeks, weeks become months. Everyone assumes she's gone forever. A memorial is built. Friends mourn, life slowly moves on, then something unbelievable happens. One day, the restaurant door opens, and there she is, alive, dirty, exhausted, but smiling. It turns out she teleported the explosion so far away that she couldn't find her way home. Classic Inchi.